Another episode of the Fantasy Underdogs podcast brought to you by BetOnline and the Believe Podcast Network. Oh, yeah. We're back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back on for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your number one spot for the pro and college action this season. With a new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the number one source for everything football. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, to receive your bonus. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games, don't wait to take advantage of the all-amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. And now, the Fantasy Underdogs podcast.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Fantasy Underdogs podcast. We've got Thursday night football on deck, got playoff baseball. I know Ella Bushman is definitely priming up for game time.
You bet I know. I've got my Rays
yeah.
shirt on. Got my Rays pillow behind me. I've got everything ready to go, Chip.
That is such a sore subject for me because my team has not even made the playoffs in a decade. Genuinely a decade.
Egads. Well, don't worry about it. The Braves did, so everything's good. We're all fine.
So 2 out of the 3 teams in this dais made the playoffs.
There you go.
Yeah.
Two of the teams, we're looking for. But hey, there's
2
always
out of
next
3
year.
ain't bad. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Could always be worse.
Yeah, sure. None of us could have made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the Fantasy Underdogs podcast, brought to you by Believe Podcast Network and BetOnline.ag. As Chip said, happy Thursday to everybody. What's going on, everybody?
There's a lot going on. Like I said, we got Thursday night football, all sorts of playoffs, baseball-wise. We got hockey coming up. I mean, this is getting ready to be you're getting ready to get the triple shot of espresso here coming up. Start of the seasons. Everybody's got good expectations, new postseason hopes. Beginning season fails. I can't wait.
It's gonna be legit. And with Thursday night football, we can't ask for more than an NFC West matchup. It really it doesn't get much better than that, so we can't complain.
Because if we complained, who would listen?
Honestly. No one.
Nobody would anyway, so it's fine.
The only thing that I hate that we heard right before this, obviously, is Chris Carson not playing. He's got a chronic neck injury, something that bothered him, I think, in the beginning of the year. So if you had an opportunity, hopefully you went out, you got Alex Collins to back up in the backfield.
I did not.
What do you think, though? Against the Rams, Jordy, do you think he's going to have a good night anyways? Or do you think this is a guy who could, get you a couple points maybe?
Yeah, I'm really not expecting much from any Seahawks run game tonight. I think Russell Wilson's going to have a game. I think the receivers are going to be able to do something, but Seahawks running backs up against the Rams, I really wouldn't expect much anyway. So I really don't think this is too big of a deal. I don't think it's going to hurt them that bad.
It's kind of a big deal, kind of a not a big deal. I mean, I have Chris Carson on 2 of my teams, but didn't handcuff him.
That's a personal reason of why it's a big deal.
Not necessarily, because I'm pretty okay with running backs. Mm-hmm. So I plugged in the necessary guys to fill in that spot. Plus, if I was going to pick up Alex Collins, I'm really taking a risk because they are going up against that Rams defense.
Yeah.
Which I don't trust Alex Collins getting much. So they might be airing it out. This might be a shootout between these two teams. So it was against the Cardinals.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I just don't see – I see the Rams getting in the backfield a lot. I see Russell Wilson probably running for his life. What he's done the majority of his career anyway, so I guess
he's good at
he's
that.
probably used to it. But I see Aaron Donald probably having a decent game. And
don't say that because I have Russell Wilson. Don't say that. I have Russell Wilson. Don't say that at all.
Good Lord.
Well, I like Seattle players. I don't know. What can I say?
I think I keep going back and forth with how I feel headed into this game because on one hand, I'm like, there's no way the Rams are going to lose 2 games back-to-back to division rivals. I was like, I just can't see that happening. But then on the other hand, you have Russell Wilson, who is exceptional in prime time, even more exceptional in Thursday Night Football. So I have really no idea what to expect. And it's either way, I wouldn't be shocked. Like if the Seahawks come out and are unbelievable, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. If the Rams come out and dominate, I'm like, yeah, cool. So I don't know. This is why NFC West matchups, they're terrible to bet, but they're great to watch just because it can easily go either way.
Yep. We got the Rams minus 2.5 right now, and the over-unders, I think it'll be under. It's 53.5.
Yeah, I would take the under.
Yeah.
The Rams definitely have the advantage defensive-wise, especially in the secondary. Their secondary is pretty good. So maybe I should bench Russell Wilson. I don't know.
Who do you have instead? Yeah, that was
Sam Darnold. I have Sam Darnold.
Ooh,
as
who's
my
going off the
backup.
Eagles?
Yeah, so
I like Sammy Sam.
I might have to do that.
Dun 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 dun.
Mid-show
quarterback switch.
Yeah, I think I might have to do that.
Mid-show fantasy changes do not go well or haven't gone well.
I hate Thursday night games anyway.
Didn't we tell you to put in Robbie Anderson and he didn't get a single point?
See, I hate Thursday night games though. I don't know.
I think that was a Thursday night game. That's when McCaffrey got hurt. Yeah. It was against Houston. And McCaffrey, I was like, as soon as McCaffrey got hurt, I think it was the second quarter. I'm like, okay, I'm drinking now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Game's over.
All right. Well,
yeah, that was rough.
You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm 4-0. I'm 4-0. I think I can take the L for this week. It's okay.
4-0. That's very impressive.
I'm stacked on my team. Like I'm pretty happy with this team. So if I'm going to take a gamble, I'm going to do it. And watch.
I don't even think. I think that's a smart gamble.
Think so?
I think that's a good gamble.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Why not? I got to remember what I think I said a couple shows ago. I've got to take more gambles and risks and stuff this year. So why not do it? Okay, it's done. It's locked in. Not looking at my phone again until tomorrow, and then I'll probably cry because Russell Wilson probably falls out and stuff tonight against the Rams. So we'll see. So a couple of trades went on this week. Let's talk about the Stephon Gilmore being traded from the Patriots to the Panthers for a 6th rounder. 6th rounder from a Pro Bowl corner. Obviously, he is hurt. He probably won't be until are they saying week 6 or 7?
They're saying after week 6, he's eligible.
He's eligible. Yeah. Okay, so probably week 8, he'll probably be in the lineup for the roster for the Panthers. Do you see? I mean, did the Patriots? I wouldn't say won on. Well, they got a. I mean, do you think the Panthers won on this trade because I mean they gave up only a 6th round pick for Stephon Gilmore, who is one of the the better corners in the league for a 6th rounder. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think the Patriots were like, you know what, screw it, he's been hurt, we don't know how he's going to be, he's 31 years old, we'll take whatever. Do you think that happened, or was it just like, you know what, nobody's going to give us a better deal? I mean, I know the Bucs were in that conversation about getting him. I know the Packers were in that conversation too. There's a lot of teams in that, but ultimately the Panthers won out.
I think this honestly worked out good for both sides because the Panthers, you get Stephon Gilmore and you really gave up next to nothing for him. Right. The Patriots were about to just release him. They couldn't come to an agreement and they were just going to let him go. So I think it worked out for them too, just to get something. It's better than getting nothing and just letting him go. So I think both sides handled it well. I really like that the Panthers did this because especially now with Horn injured, when he comes back and he's healthy and now you have him with Stephon Gilmore, I just think it's a good dynamic. And Stephon Gilmore, you don't really know what you're going to get, but it's good to hold you over because I don't know. I mean, he's was so talented, and he's coming off one of his worst years and then the injury. So you have no idea how he's actually going to bounce back. But even just that veteran presence, and then once Horn comes back, having the two of them there, I think it is really smart. And like I said, them giving up only it's a 2023 6th round. So for them, I think they handled it beautifully.
Oh yeah, dude. The Patriots, they couldn't, like you said, Jordy, couldn't get together on a salary number. They strategically made this announcement very early in the morning, knowing that by the end of the league day at like 4 p.m., they would announce it. So teams then had the ability to call them and say, "Hey, look, we'll give you something, for them." And obviously, Carolina was one of the teams, I guess, that called, and the Patriots had interest in. Like they said, I mean, Gilmore played at USC, South Carolina, so he's going back to where he grew up and where the Panthers general manager, I think he lives in the same neighborhood as the general manager in South Carolina. So back home to Mama Gilmore and everybody else, and she, hang out.
That's West Virginia. That's not Carolina.
Yeah, that's West Virginia.
Wrong song.
It's okay.
Another trade that happened, former Pro Bowler linebacker Jalen Smith was traded from the Cowboys to the Packers. Interesting story with Jalen Smith. He is also injured as well. This guy came to the league, was drafted pretty high with the Cowboys organization. I think had 100 tackles between the 2 years he was there. And then all of a sudden they're just like, you know what? Peace. And I like this because the Packers have always been lacking on the linebacker side on their defense. Actually, they lack a lot of stuff on their defense. So good pickup for the Packers. How do you like this trade between the Packers and the Cowboys?
I like it.
Was he released and then
he was released. Yeah.
I'm sorry, released.
Okay.
Yeah, he was released.
The Packers just snagged him, which I think was really smart, especially for them because they're in a salary cap situation, but the Cowboys are basically still paying him to play on the Packers. Like they still owe him $7.2 million. That's why I was kind of shocked that they were.
A lot of people were shocked about this.
Yeah, I see both sides. It makes complete sense why they let him go. I mean, now you have Micah Parsons, like you have other guys now to kind of fill this role. And he wasn't living up to what he used to be able to and kind of those expectations. So I get releasing him, but when you still owe him that huge amount of money, I would say just keep him just at least for the season or for a couple more weeks just to see. But I mean, it's only week 4. So I was shocked in that aspect, but they literally just said, they were like, there's nothing personal. Like he literally just wasn't playing as well as everyone else. So we just wanted him gone.
Apparently he was misstepping. He was like misstep for a couple steps over the offseason. They asked him to restructure his contract down from the 9.2 to whatever they were trying to get him. And he was just like, no, I'm not going to do that. So
yeah, he had wrist surgery, I think.
Yeah.
And there was an injury clause in his contract that would state that if his wrist was re-injured or he had any, surgical procedures, the Cowboys would be responsible for an injury bonus of like 9.2. So the salary actually went up $1.4 million next year if anything happened to that wrist. And the Cowboys stated that, they already had talent there and they didn't want to be $9.2 million on the books for a player who wasn't really playing.
So it's a win-win situation for both sides because he gets more playing time with the Packers and he gets more money.
Yeah.
And Zadarius Smith from the Packers just got put on IR and he was their big horse at linebacker. So they fill an immediate need with Jalen.
Okay.
I like to see too that the Packers are actually making moves because I feel like they're one of the teams that don't necessarily go out and go after guys. And especially with everything going on with Aaron Rodgers right now, I think them kind of making a point to say we're seeing where our holes are and we're going to do what we can to fix them. I don't know if it's going to repair any relationships there. I kind of feel like that bridge is very much burned, but I like that they're at least trying to do something. So that's a positive.
Yeah.
Well, I think if they're trying to repair any kind of bridge, it's a little bit too late.
I think so too.
Next year, Aaron Rodgers he doesn't become a free agent until 2023. So next year they could trade him, which if I was Aaron Rodgers, I would try to mend fences because, you really only have a couple spots that they might trade you to, which you might like, which would be Denver, which is one of them. But like if you go into free agency in 2023, you have the pick of the litter of who you want to go to.
Yeah.
Which might be Tampa Bay because obviously Tom Brady might retire in a couple of years, and then Aaron Rodgers comes down to Tampa Bay, and then boom, they have their next quarterback of the future.
Didn't
So-
hear Tom Brady's playing until he's 50.
Oh, that's right. He's playing. Well, Aaron Rodgers could be his backup. No, I was kidding.
Tampa
Can
Bay has
you
$2 million in
imagine?
cap room. They have $2
Yeah,
million.
but I'm talking about 2 years into the future, Chip. We don't know what happens to
They don't-
in the future.
They won't have any more
I know they
than
won't have
probably
any
10 million.
Ugh,
They're going to
be a
sign
real-
Godwin.
Nah, they might let him walk.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they're gonna let him go.
That's solid.
All right, next on the list, Baker Mayfield, our good friend Baker, has been playing with a partially torn labrum. He was in a cast this past week, saying his mama didn't raise a wuss. That's why he hasn't really told anybody about it until today. It's on his.
I hate Baker Mayfield.
Oh God.
I
You don't like his
really
commercials?
do.
You don't like his
No.
commercials?
No. Every time they're on, I get really mad. I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan.
Is it because he plays for Cleveland, or is it because he
No,
went
I
to
actually like-
Oklahoma?
No, I just think he's annoying. Like
Oh, boy.
everything he comes in. Are you guys like big Baker fans? A lot of my
No,
friends
no,
are.
I'm not. No,
I'm not a huge Baker fan, but
I like
No,
him
I
better than
just-
Johnny Manziel. I mean,
He's better. He's better than Johnny Manziel. I just don't. He comes off like Joe Burrow has like this like confidence, but it's like calm, cool, collected, and he goes out there and he like executes and like Baker Mayfield. I just get nothing from him, and then he's just cocky and rude all the time, and I'm like, I just don't like you. Like if he was if he was out there like going to the Super Bowl and consistently like doing great things for the Browns, I'd be like, all right, this is deserved. Like, I get it. But he doesn't like do that. So I'm just over him.
so what you're saying is if you saw Baker Mayfield at a bar, you would punch him in the face. Is that what you're saying?
I would really
Oh,
try
God.
to. I would
Okay.
really try. I don't know if I would punch him,
Oh.
but I would
no.
definitely like
No.
make it known that he is one of my least favorite people right now.
So you wouldn't go and dance up next to him like what happened to Urban Meyer?
Oh,
at-
absolutely not. I wouldn't
Okay.
touch Baker Mayfield with a 10-foot pole.
Well,
Wow.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not a Baker fan. He
I-
needs to
that's-
win me over. He needs to start. I mean, and he does sometimes. There are sometimes where I'm like, all right, Baker, maybe he's getting it together. And then, granted,
should
he's
have-
injured right now.
Chip, we
but
should have a bet with Jordan. If she loses a bet, she has to wear a Baker Mayfield like shirt or jersey.
bleh, I'd rather.
Oh
not.
God, look, yeah, see?
Yes, yeah,
Can't
we
do
have to make
that,
some kind of
jeez.
bet like that.
Oh,
It's
no.
it's on his non-throwing arm, so it's not going to affect him at all. So he'll probably will be playing this Sunday, but it is something to be cautious about if you have Baker Mayfield on your fantasy lineup.
Dude,
So-
the offense is missing Jarvis Landry. Massive. Like Baker and dude Beckham, they haven't gotten together yet. They've missed passes. They don't have that flow that Baker had with Landry, and you can tell it's struggling on the offensive side. I mean, they missed some plays last week against Minnesota. That game was just like a weird game. Like I watched the highlights and I watched a little bit, and it just seems like both those teams' offenses are explosive. They have the opportunity to put up points. Both their defenses have been playing a lot better this year, but it was just a weird. I never would have thought that game would have only put up, 28 points, 14-7, I think it was for the Browns. So just Baker's missing Jarvis, dude, missing Landry.
Browns were kind of like that last year. They were up and down when it came to scoring points. They weren't really
Yeah.
consistent. I mean, obviously it's the Browns. I mean, they've never really been consistent on anything except for losing. But
Oh, the running game has been very consistent, dude.
well, except for that.
Yeah, they have.
There's an
running
asterisk
game's
against. There's an asterisk against my statement. Sorry, the running game has been very consistent with that two-headed monster with Kareem Hunt and also Nick Chubb. So I won't.
That's unbelievable.
Yes, that's a steal of a pickup for Kareem Hunt.
I wish the Falcons could steal one of those guys and just bring them to Atlanta.
That's never gonna
Which
happen.
we got
Sorry,
awful
You have
news
Cordell
today.
Patterson.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Stop it.
Chip,
Awful
you
news.
have the Braves to cheer for. It's okay.
Exactly.
You
Well,
just cheer
awful
for the
news
Braves.
today, and Jordy and I were talking about right before the show started. Calvin Ridley not making the trip to London for the game at 9:30 in the morning on Sunday. Also, Russell Gage, who has been hurt, was going to come off IR. He's not making the trip either. So the Falcons are now accepting applications for wide receivers. Everybody, get your passports, head to London, get on your football equipment, start running up the field.
Jordan, you know what this means, right?
The Jets are going to win.
No. big game for Kyle Pitts.
It better be. I've been waiting for this moment eagerly.
I have him
Eagerly
locked
waiting.
and loaded as my tight end 1. If he doesn't do anything this Sunday, he's gone. He going on
You're
the
gonna,
waivers.
you're gonna drop. Are you gonna drop him or are you gonna?
I am this close to dropping him. This close. You now should be the number
Careful
one.
doing that.
He hasn't been utilized.
He should be the number 1 target this week. You've
Yeah.
got Gage out, Ridley out. He should be the number 1 target. That's it. And if he doesn't do well, he might be going on waivers. That's all I'm saying.
Cordero Patterson he's going to be on the field. He's going to be bringing the water, taping guys' ankles, catching passes, returning kicks, blocking. It's going to be Cordero Patterson. Holy cow.
That's fine.
You drink your Gatorade.
I will. That's fine. The inevitable has happened. Justin Fields is now the starter. Going forward for the rest of the season, barring any kind of weirdness. Coach Nagy made it official.
This guy.
Double-edged sword. He either whatever decision he made on Justin Fields was going to be either scrutinized or applauded, no matter what was going to happen. And I thought about this today, where everybody was saying put Fields in, and I think people may have been rushing that too much, because would you rather have a quarterback that's you drafted him to learn and develop, not to be rushed out in the field. Now, there's only a few quarterbacks that you can rush out in the field that are really ready to be a starter in this league. I mean, there's few and far between. I mean, you have the Andrew Lucks of the world, the Peyton Mannings of the world, the Patrick Mahomes of the world. But if you're trying to develop a quarterback for like the next 10 to 15 years, maybe he shouldn't have been rushed out. I mean, maybe, have him sit on the sidelines for a while. Now, obviously, there's quarterback situations just hell right now at Chicago. But I think with Nagy, I kind of agree with Nagy on the side as well, is because they drafted him for a reason, to develop and for him to be in this league for a long time, not to be a flash in the pan where he's mediocre, not get the right coaching and tooling, and then he's out in the league, or he's a backup somewhere else, like after 2 years, after Chicago says, I'm done with you. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe you guys agree with me or not, but that's I look at it now from the outside in, and I know I've said this before. I think, it was time for Justin Fields to be on the field, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't time. But
no, I understand exactly where you're coming from. And I kind of went through that, where they drafted him and then they were still calling, like before the season started, and they were still calling Andy Dalton QB1. And I was like, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do this? And it was me and Kaylee. We broke down their schedule and we were like, it honestly makes sense to sit Justin Fields. We really didn't want him to start until after week 4. And granted, the Andy Dalton injury, he had to jump in sooner. So you were kind of given. But I think at this point, with what we've seen from him, there's no way you can not continue to start him. I don't like necessarily how it started, and I think I would have preferred him to actually sit for a little bit longer, maybe even like halfway through this season a little bit. But now that he's out there and you see how much better the team kind of clicks with him and you see what he's able to do, I think you can't just take it away now. I think now the momentum's going and he's already got that push. So I think now that he's in, you can't take him out, but I think I would have preferred for him to sit a little bit longer.
Oh, there's no turning back, because if you do,
Yeah.
you got to go get Nick Foles in there or turn to Andy Dalton again. So yeah, there's no turning back on this.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Well, I think we all knew when he got drafted, when they traded up to get him, that Matt Nagy was fighting for his job. This is an organization that's been like craving a quarterback for just decades, dude. They need somebody to take over the reins. And I think when he got drafted and they traded up for him, everybody knew that he was going to play this year. You just wanted to wonder what capacity. Would it be because of injury? Would it be because, they got up in a game and he just got increments, like little bits of playing time? But at the end of the day, you've got a coach who is fighting for his job. You've got a team that can't really get anything going or can't get moving in the right direction. Dalton's injured. So if you're Andy Dalton, dude, once again, you've flown to a team, thought you were going to be a starter. You're not a starter anymore. You're going to hold a clipboard and you'll make, $13, $15 million. Drink Gatorade, be happy. You robbed the bank again. Way to go.
Classic Gatorade sounds good right now. Actually, you keep saying the Gatorade thing, Chip.
I know.
Makes
It's
me
Tennessee
thirsty.
orange flavor, like Peyton says, dude. It's
I know,
refreshing.
These pretzels are making me thirsty. God. Oh God. All right, waiver wire pickups this week for week 5. What do we got?
Dude, Alex Collins was massive. That was going to be one guy you definitely needed to pick up. Who else? I don't know. I mean, I dropped some guys. I dropped Teddy Bridgewater.
I've got Damian Williams for the
Yeah, that's
Chicago
who I was
Bears.
gonna say.
That's a good one
I
too.
was
Running
gonna say,
back.
speaking of the Bears,
David
Kadarius Toney too.
Yep.
I grabbed him, even though I
Yeah.
didn't need. I had to drop the infamous Robbie Anderson got dropped.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I drafted him in 2 of my leagues and I really regret it.
Yep.
Trey Lance is probably going to start this week. Would you take a flyer on him?
I mean, I actually have Trey Lance as my backup.
Well,
In
he's your
what
backup for a reason, though.
He's my
not your
backup for a
starter.
reason. I didn't know if he was ever actually going to start. I had a faith he was going to start at some point. I don't think I'm going to use him. I have to remember what league I have him. I don't know who he's sitting behind, but I don't think I'm going to yet. I just think it's too soon. And aren't they playing the Cardinals?
Yes,
Yes.
they are.
I don't like NFC West. But you have no idea what to expect with them. And Cardinals defense scares me. Josh Allen's my starting quarterback. Trey Lance is my backup. I'm sticking with Josh Allen, but I do think it's smart to pick up Trey Lance if you are in a dire situation.
I would also take a look at Samaje Perine, even though they're going to go by committee this week in Cincinnati. And then also the status of Gronk is still kind of up in the air. You can maybe take a chance on Cameron Brate, even though him and Tom Brady they didn't look in sync at all on last Monday night's game. They looked just all over the place. So if you're looking for tight end help, look at Cameron Brate possibly. Running back help, you could take a chance at Samaje Perine on a flex, but other than that, I would be cautious about the Bengals backfield.
Yes. Walking wounded. Be careful.
Yes, definitely. All right. What do we got?
Picks.
Okay, picks for tonight?
Dude, it's a straight flush. Got to be all Rams, right?
I don't know. What did I pick tonight?
What do you think?
I took the Rams. I was very back and forth, but the Rams aren't losing 2 in a row.
I got to start picking opposite of you because you're like 4 up on me.
Are you going with the Seahawks tonight?
No, I got to go the Rams.
Yeah.
Just
if Carson was in there, maybe.
Yeah. If Chris
I
Carson
like
was
that
running
better.
tonight, yeah, not with Alex Collins and in the backfield. No, I don't trust that at all. God,
Yeah.
Man.
Where is the game too?
They're in Seattle.
I think it's in Seattle.
Yeah, they're in Seattle. So.
I feel like no, I'm still sticking with the Rams.
I'm
so torn.
No. Pick Seattle.
I'm so torn.
Pick Seattle. You want to? Yes.
Well,
taking the Rams and I'm taking the under.
Okay.
I love the under. The Rams minus 2.5. I mean, for a bet, you're just that you got to get the hook for 3, so you don't put yourself in a bad spot. But all the money right now I'm seeing online, and 78% on the Rams, 23% on Seattle. But a lot of people are actually hitting it under on the spread. 60% of the bettors, and then you're seeing a lot of action. Almost 80% of bettors are taking the Rams minus 2.5. So.
I don't like the Rams minus 2.5.
Yeah, that's a funny number, dude. There are certain bets when you could pay more of the VIG and you can get you can buy a half point usually for 20% on your bet and cover yourself with a push for that 3. So
if it was minus 3, I think that's a lot safer. I definitely like Rams money line, but no, that 2.5 is scary.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson has a .776 career win percentage in primetime games.
Oh,
the highest.
7.7?
776. The highest by any quarterback since the 1950s.
Wow. So
isn't he like 9-1 in primetime?
I believe so, yeah.
Wow.
I think so. Chip, your boy Christian McCaffrey could be coming back.
Oh, dude, week. I can't even. All my backfield, Chase Edmonds, questionable. He's out. Christian McCaffrey, questionable. He's out. A.J. Brown is actually healthy, so that's good. But yeah, I've been bit by the injury bug. My first 2 picks haven't played now in 2 weeks. So
Well, they're saying CMC said he might suit up. He feels really good.
No,
you know what I love
he
about
should wait
ESPN?
until after they play the Eagles.
There you go. What I love about ESPN is they populate his points already. That's how I know he's going to play.
Yeah.
I've already given him like 24.6 points.
I would rather have him sit because then Sam Darnold's just going to throw it all day, which is fine by me. If I'm doing this crazy, take a chance on Sam Darnold, and then after all the things I've said about Sam Darnold too, like this might bite me. Bite me in the ass. Like come on Monday after we do our for our wrap up show for Sunday. I'll be like,
we'll have to point fingers and laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you.
No, I might have to like even make more of an apology to Sam Darnold. Like Sam Darnold, thank you for giving me all these points this week. I'll never doubt you again.
No,
get it ready.
I'm sorry, I'm rooting against you, and I love Sam Darnold, and I love the Panthers, but like,
didn't you just tell me to put in Sam Darnold and replace?
No.
Let's go back to the tape.
I don't think I said.
I thought maybe she did. I don't know, but I said put in Sam Darnold.
I don't think I did. I just think I was like, wow, you're doing it.
Oh, okay.
I can't play Sam Darnold this week because my opponent has DJ Moore. So I am not doing that to myself. I'm sticking with Tannehill and Brown.
Don't do that to you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, but who cares? I'm 0-4. So it's prayer now. It's Hail Mary. Keep going.
Dude, I'm 0-4 in my work league. So I'm 4-0 and I'm also 0-4. Which
I'm like riding right down. In one, I'm 3-1, and the other, I'm 2-2.
Oh,
so I'm like,
go.
Yeah,
that's good. That's right down the middle.
Good place to be.
Yeah. See, I'm on like opposite ends of the spectrum. Like I'm good, and then I'm also shitty at the same time. Can't win.
Well, we'll all pray this evening for a Rams win and a good fantasy outcome.
Yep.
Yes.
Thanks for joining. Oh God, it's on my throat. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh no.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Fantasy Underdogs podcast, brought to you by Believe Podcast Network and also BetOnline.ag. We will be back on Sunday morning for our weekly pick'ems and also your fantasy start and sits for the week. Have a great night. It's playoff baseball, Thursday night football as well. Go Rays. Yeah, I said it on a football show. I don't care.
Go Braves.
Oh, you said it too. I like that. Go on.
Go Rams.
Phillies are not in the playoffs.
Yeah, Phillies will never be in the playoffs ever again. I've accepted it. I've gone the last decade. I'll be fine.
Peace.